Holo AI is a powerful platform designed to help brands and creators streamline their content creation. It combines tools for generating images, videos, and emails, while also giving you the ability to schedule posts and manage campaigns all in one place. In this video, I'll walk you through everything step by step, starting with account setup, then exploring how you can use the image, video, and email features, and finally showing you how to schedule posts and more. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how Holo AI can simplify your workflow and keep your content consistent, creative, and on brand. Alright, so now to get started is that you want to go here into the website of Holo. So you can use the link in the description to go here easily. Also, it's an affiliate link, so you'll be able to support this channel if you use that link. But no pressure, only if you want to use it. So in here, you can now proceed by clicking here on login if you already have an account. If not, is that you can click here on buy now. And from here, you will now be able to see that we have the starter plan available here in Holo, which is what they offer when you first set up your account in here. So we have $39 per month. You could use the link in the description if you'd want to get the best price possible, wherein you can get discounts. And then in here, we have the Powered by latest AI and so on. So you can see the features as you go down. And then you have the FAQ in here. So anything that you need to know, you can see the questions in here. And like the free trial, they don't have that, but you are fully covered with a 14-day money-back guarantee. And take note that the 14-day money-back guarantee comes with some conditions, like it shouldn't be past the 14-day period, and you haven't generated any more than 35 content pieces, because if you do, then you will not be eligible anymore for the refund or the money back guarantee. So take note of that. And there it is. So now once you're ready, you can click here and redeem 70% off. And from here, you can choose if you'd want to pay yearly, quarterly, or monthly. So in here, I'm just going to go for monthly. You can click on buy now. And then from here, just simply use the payment method that you'd want and provide your payment information and click on submit payment. And as you can see, we also have some coupon codes available, and we already have one already used right here because I used the link in the description. Now, once you have purchased the plan, you will now be prompted in here onto the onboarding. So from here, I'm going to click here on continue. And then basically we just need to provide some details about our business, like the website in here. You could provide your website here. If you don't have a website, you can just click here or enter your business details manually. And in here, I'm just going to choose English for my content. So I'm going to click on that and click on continue. And then we have this one. So what's your brand name? So let's say I'm going to go for a sample store for this tutorial. And then what are you selling? I'm going to go for products and click on continue. And then next is that we have the color. We could also upload a logo, mission, and niches right here. So I'm just going to go for my colors. And now next is the logo. So I'm just going to upload it right here. And as for the colors, I'm going to add some new ones right here. So I'm going to go for this color, visual picker, and then we can have the slider in here. So for this one, I'm just going to go for this color. I like that. And then next is the mission. So for this example, I'm going to go for selling LED water bottles. So I'm going to go for our mission is to sell eco-friendly recycled LED water bottles. Just like that. And then we have the niches. So you can select your niche right here. So as for me, I'm going to go for consumer, electronics, and tech. I can also go for fitness and sports equipment. And then I think I'm also going to go for health and wellness, and this one right there. Actually, also this one right here. So you could also just select a few wherein your main niche is, but I'm just going to go for this 5 right here. So depending on which one you prefer, just like that, I'm going to click on continue. And then here is that you can now quick import from a URL. So we could also do this later on. But as for this one right here is that I'm going to go and just provide the URL right here so that we can do this fast. I'm gonna go for hydratespark.com. So this is sample website in here. It's not mine. It's just that I'll be using this as an example in this video. And now I'm gonna click here so that it will now scan and analyze this website and get data from there, like the product that will automatically be filled right here. So this is a really great way for you um, to do this without much effort. But as you can see, it's automatically selecting a product. So if you have multiple products, then not all of them will be selected. As you can see, we only have this one right here, but we already have the image, title, and description filled in for us. I highly recommend though that you manually fill in the pictures right here by yourself, title, description, and so on, so that you'd have total full control. And now once you're done, you can click here on save product and it will now be added, as you can see right here. And now you can click and continue. And just like that, we have now successfully completed the onboarding here in Holo. So now from here is that I'm gonna go and press and hold, and then there's gonna be this cute animation in here, which I really like, and it's really fascinating. And here it is. We are now on the homepage. So, and now from here is that it's going to present you the starting steps or recommended steps for you to take before you do anything here in Holo. Just basically another account setup things right here. So you can click here and skip if you don't want to do it yet. You have the top picks right here for the features, create new, and many more right here. So we'll be doing all of that in this video. So I'm just going to go for explore all. I'm gonna go create images, and just so that we can go here. All right, so now basically is that the first thing that you'd want to do, as you can see, is to complete your brand setup. This is very important in setting up your account so that later on you will have a flawless or smooth process when you're creating content in here, because you have all of your details filled up. So first thing you want to do is go here into DNA. And from here, we have products, mood board, and context, which we would need to set up. So first is that we're going to go here into context. So we can click on that. And basically in here, it's very basic. You just need to fill in the details here about your business, like the brand name, website URL, show inspiration, gallery, social media, language settings. You just need to provide it all right here, and this is where you can edit your colors, your logo, and so on. So yeah, you can just fill everything up right there on which you could provide. You could also go on how you speak so that you would be able to tell AI on how you would like it to be, like the tone of voice, words and phrases to use, to avoid, good copy, bad copy, that you can provide as an example, so that AI would be able to analyze your preferences more and actually make good results that you would like. And then you have where you compete, so you can proceed into competitor strengths, differentiator, competitor weaknesses, emerging trends, and so on. So I'm not gonna fill up each one of them, so I'll just fast forward so that we don't waste any time in filling all of this up, because all of these are very basic and very subjective to your business. Once you are done filling up the context about your business, you can now proceed into the other two. So for this one, we'll just go for mood board first. I'm gonna click here on mood board, and basically this is where you would be able to provide like a design template for AI to analyze, so that the AI would actually be able to know on what style of design you would like for your business. So you could upload something similar to your business or exactly the same, like for example a screenshot of your website, so that AI would be able to learn from that. So you could also upload it here in mood board. So let me show you an example. I'm going to click here on new mood board, and for this example is that I'm going to use this website of hydratespark. So what I typically would want to do in here is basically make a snippet or a screenshot. So I can do that by holding my Windows key, Shift, and S key on my keyboard. And now I can make a snippet just like this one right there. And then you should be able to have something like this. So there's a snippet. So now I could use this, and now I can click here and save. And then I'm gonna go and just save this here in my downloads right there. And there it is. It is now saved. Now I can close this and go back into the mood board. And then I can just click here and upload, and basically just select that, upload it right here. And you could upload many screenshots right here, or many elements that you would want to add to your mood board, like for example the product page, or is there any other design that you would want to incorporate into your mood board, and so on. So it's not just limited into one screenshot, so take note of that. You can apply as many inspirations or inspo here as possible on mood board as much as you want. So take note that the max is 100 megabytes when uploading your inspo. And make sure to click on Save and Analyze on the top right corner once you are done with your mood board. And now let's go to the next one. Let's go into products. So as for this one, we have already added one right here. And it says here you can review, edit, or add your products. So you could do that in here. You could click on next and done. So this is where you can create a new product. And as for this one right here, you could edit this with the title, description, and media if you'd want. And you could click on new product if you'd want to add a new one. And again, we can quick import from a URL just like what we did earlier. You can provide a title, description, and media in here. So that's product. It's very easy. So that's it. So once you are now done with this one, you can now go back. And as you can see, it's still 44% complete. So we would need to get it at least 50%. So if you still have this notice, make sure that you click here on complete DNA and just provide some information here, especially in the context page, because this is where most of the percentage would come from here on your brand setup. Alright, we don't have that notice anymore. Now we can proceed into creating content. Let's go here first on the home page, wherein we can see an overview of all the features or things that we could do here on Holo. And from here, we have already done the product, the context, and the mood board, so we're all good with that. So here in the mood board, make sure that your mood board is saved, by the way, and it's also activated. As you can see, it's green. You can toggle that on and off, as you can see, just like that. So make sure that it's activated. And now let's go into the image section first, and we'll be exploring all of the features here that you could do on Holo, or all of the content that you can generate. So first is image. And in here, we have content swipe. So we can click on that. And basically in here, you can explain your idea. So from here is that I just want a poster for a Black Friday sale for my LED water bottle product. And yes, so it's this one. So you can add more details on the design on how you would want it to be. Let's say I'm gonna go for I want it with gold accents. It's just like that. You can add more details if you'd want. This is just my preference. And here, notice that we have advanced settings. You can turn that on and off. And basically, this is where you could activate the mood board right there. You can click here and save. So there it is. It's activated. And an aspect ratio, you can choose one right here. I'm going to go for 9:16. This is what I want, which is suitable for Reels or for TikTok. And then the image amount, I'm going to go for 3. So take note that the image amount would highly affect the number of credits that you'll be spending here in generating this content. And take note that you should always monitor how much credits you have right here on the bottom left, so that you'll be able to control how much you have. Because if you run out of credits, then you will not be able to use any more features here on in Holo. So take note of that. And notice here it says 3, so we will be spending 3 credits as we create. So now I'm gonna click here on create, and now as you can see, it has now been deducted by 3 credits because it cost us 3 credits here to make. So now in here, the swipes are now in progress. We can wait for it to finish. You can click here on view in library, and this is basically where you'd be able to see the contents that you have generated. All right, the results are ready, and now here it is. So here we have our Black Friday poster available now. So as you can see, this is one of three. And would you like to save this creative? You can go for discard, which is swipe left, or save if you don't want to swipe right. So basically, like those dating apps, for example, is Tinder. So basically, it's something like that. This is content swipe. So if you like this, you can click here and save. So I actually really like it. I'm gonna click here on save. And from here, we have the sample store, which is our logo, Black Friday sale, which is the gold accent, which I really like. So I really like it. So you could click here on save if you'd want. And then if you don't want, then you could go for discard. So I'm going to go for save because I really like it. And as for this one, there are no text. And honestly, it's a bit lacking for me because there's no text, but you could just edit it later on and add some text if you want. So as for me, I'm just gonna pass on this one because I don't want to do some edits. And as you can see right here, remember you can always edit them later. If you discard, they are gone forever. So I'm gonna click here and discard for this one. There it is, and now it's not gonna be saved here into your library. So that's it. So now next is that we're going to go back in here. And as you can see here at the bottom is where you can see your contents. You can click here on download. You could also edit them right here by clicking here on the three dots. You can go for share them into social, variations, translate, and so on. So first is that we're going to go into edit. And from here, this is where you would be able to edit your image. So basically here is that you just need to describe it in a prompt. So you can just tell AI on what you'd want to be edited here, and it would now do it for you. So you can go for text editor. You can enable that right here, and then you can describe what you want. So let's say that I want a header. Let's say with this coupon code Black Friday 10, so something like that. So I'm gonna go for send if you're not satisfied with this, but you could also go for layers if you want to decompose this image into multiple separate layers. You can upscale this, erase if there's something that you'd want to remove here in this image. So now I'm gonna go for send for this one, and let's see what would happen. And there it is. So it's basically like a chat. So you'll be prompted here into the chat section. So we'll be doing that later on also. But as for now, we'll be focusing on editing this. So it's now going to generate the image right here with the edit that we have. All right, here it is. As you can see, we now have this coupon code right here. So exactly what I needed. And yeah, that's how you can make your edit here. No editing skills needed. You just need to describe it from here. And also you can click here on upscale on your photo if you'd want to upscale this right here. So you just need to double click on this one. You can click here, and as you can see, there's a confirmation. It says confirm. You can click on that if you're willing to spend 1 credit to upscale that, and then it will now upscale the image just like that. As you can see, it's currently loading, so you just have to wait for that. And now our credit got deducted, and now it has been upscaled. And next is that you could also decompose the image into separate layers. You can click here and click on confirm once again, and now it's decomposing image into layers. And then basically this is where you'd be able to see that, but I'm just gonna close this because it's gonna be saved into the library, and I'm gonna reach my limit of 35, so I'm just gonna go and skip that for now. Next is that you could also do erase. You can click here on erase and then confirm once again. And then from here, you can also select an area to erase and confirm. For example, I would want to erase the eyeglass that is right here. So I'm going to go and make sure that it's shaded just like that, fully shaded. And now from here is that you can now click here on confirm, and now it's going to start erasing the sunglass right here. So I'm going to go click here on confirm, and it's now going to remove that. All right, so now here's the image. As you can see, the eyeglass is now gone, so it's that easy to remove something here on the erase feature on Holo. And then next is that we have more. We can click here on translate if you would want to make a variation of this into different languages. Like for example, I'm gonna go for Spanish. You could translate it into another language. So this is another way for you to generate another image to translate this into another language. And here it is. Translation is now in progress. You just need to wait for that. All right, it is now done, and we can now see the translated version here now on our library. So here it is. So here's the Spanish translation of our poster. So here's the original, and here's the translated version. So it's that easy. And another thing that we could do is that we can just view some of this right here. Let's say this one. And then you can click on open in editor so that we can go back. And now you could also go for variate if you'd want to create some variations. So in here is that you could go here into the aspect ratio. You can change that into 4:5, 9:16, and so on. Similarity, you can go for low, high, and if there are some any more changes that you would want to incorporate in this variation, you can write it right here and click on create, and take note of how much credits it would cost right here. So once you're done with that, you can click here and it will now create a variation based on the settings that you have provided in here. So it's that easy. So yeah, that's how you can create another variation if you like this style, and the result will be quite similar to this along with the settings that you have there. And now last one to discuss in here is that we have the text editor. So if you'd want to edit the text elements here individually, you can click here and confirm. And basically you can now add text. You can add a logo somewhere in your image. Like for example, I'm going to click here on add text or draw a rectangular shape just like that. And then we can now add a new text manually right here. Like for example, coupon code. There it is. It's another example. And from there is that we could resize that just like that, and then we can put it anywhere we'd want to position it. Just so for example, right there. And then here on the existing text is that you can click on them, and then from here on the right side, you could change the font, the size, and then this style right here. You could also add your logo if you'd want. And yeah, that is basically it if you'd want to edit the text here manually. So that's it on how you'd be able to edit your image here in Holo. Alright, so now let's go back into homepage, and from here we're going to go into image again to move on into the next feature, which is the concept. So we can create images from a specific concept or idea. And in here is that we can select a product that we have. So I'm just going to select this one right here that we have and click on continue. And then you can go for the size. I'm going to go for story size and click on continue. And then the angle in here. So let's say I would want it to be a post or an image for sports feature of the water bottle. Make sure that there are a lot of water elements in the background, just like that, so that it would feel sporty. And yeah, you can basically just explain your idea in here, whatever it is. You can be more specific, or you can still be vague depending on how you'd like it. And then you can also click here on explore angles. You have the infographics, discount or offer, announcement, product benefits, feature callout, and many more right here that you would want. So for example, I'm going to go for a feature callout. So spotlight one standout feature like the LED and so on. But I'm just going to go for this one right here. Let's see if it would actually make any good poster or image with this. And then once you're now ready with your prompt, you can click here on generate, and it's now gonna generate your image out of this concept. All right, it is now done, as you can see right here. So now we can click on concept done, and we'll be taken here into library, and here's the concept. So as you can see, there is the water element, and I think this is just a super good image right here. We have the water elements just as I have indicated in the prompt. And yeah, sports feature, and I think the design is very sporty. I really like it. And we also have this phone right here with the app, and we have the text. So stay hydrated, stay ahead, the world's smartest tumbler tracks every sip. So I think that's pretty good. I really like that. And yeah, overall this is it. And you could open this in editor once again if you would want to. and you can also delete, you can add it to folder, you can mark it as a favorite, you can share this, and so on. So that's the concept feature. Next feature is that we have the clone template. So you can use proven templates and customize them for your images. So here are the templates available that you can choose from. So since we're selling water bottles, I think we're going to go for something that would be relevant for a water bottle product. So let's see, let's just scroll down for a bit. And actually, I really like this one right here. It's very simple, but I think it looks really premium, and I really like the design. So I'm gonna click here, and as you can see, I have not selected that. And you could scroll down, and basically you could select anything that you want in here. So I really want this one, so I'm just gonna select that, and then you can select the niches right here. And yeah, basically these are the niches for the template. So all I'm seeing right here are templates for the niches that I have selected in here. And now once you have selected a template, you can click here on clone selected, and then you can proceed into the next one. So now explain your idea on what you would want to happen here. So I'm just gonna go for replace the watch with my water bottle product. Make sure to promote the coupon code on the text. The coupon code is Black Friday sale, maybe something like that. And then let's see if it would actually be able to add this coupon code at the bottom. So let's say there it is. It's now more specific. And yeah, so let's see on what would be able to create from that. You could also randomize if you'd want to. By the way, you could also add some visual source if you'd want to add some reference images that you'd want to incorporate in your image. You can do it right here. You could also go for your library if there's something that you'd want to add, or even the product. So I'm just going to select the product in here so that this is the one that will be inserted right here on the poster. And then you could also go here, by the way, if you'd want to go for AI suggested prompts. So I don't want that. I just want this prompt. I'm going to click here on create. All right, the cloning is now done. Now we can go into our library, and then we will now be able to see the clone in here. So here is the clone. So here it is. And it has now put the product in here. And then we have the coupon code as we have indicated here at the bottom. And it has added some Apple Health and Apple Find My, which I didn't really like. And then here is that we have some text. So it's not very similar to the template that we have chosen, if you remember, because it's not like this. The text placement arrangement is not like this, so I would have preferred if it's exactly like the text that we had earlier, but nonetheless it's still a very good one. It's just that it's not very accurate. So yeah, that's the clone feature here on Holo. Next is the variation. So we have already done this earlier, so let's just click here, and here it is. So basically you can just upload your creative in here. And for example, I'm going to choose this one because I really like it. You can click here and continue. And then now the instructions. So basically the same thing earlier that we have discussed. You can go for aspect ratio, the similarity to the style here. You can go for low, medium, or high. And then you could also use the mood board and then explain it here using a prompt. You could also add some visual source right here, like selecting your product, which is this one. So it's very important. And then once you're done is that you can click on create, and then you'd basically be able to select or create or generate a poster or image that is similar to this based on the similarity value also here if you set it into low or high or maybe medium. So yeah, it would just simply create another similar style as you have here on your reference source. So it's that simple, just like what we did earlier. Next is that we have the photo shoot. So in here, you can create photo shoot style images. So what we'd like to do, so you need to add a prompt. So in here, I would want to go for the product is on a table with a platform. So it's that simple. You can click here on visual source. I'm just going to select my product right there, click on save, and it's now selected. And here in the aspect ratio, you can select which one you want. I would want it to be like this in 916. Amount of visuals, I just want to go for 1. Explore angles, so in here I can go for discount or offer, product benefits, and so on. So actually I'm just going to go for this one right here. I'm going to go for, let's say, feature callout. So I'm going to go for create an image with a feature callout angle. My water bottle product comes with LED that shows temperature of the content or of the liquid inside, something like that. And then now once you're done with everything, you can click here and create, and it's now gonna start creating your image for you. All right, so now here it is. So now we can click on the image. It is now done, and there it is. So the feature callout angle right here, the water bottle comes with the LED that shows temperature. So it's very accurate in here. We have the temperature. And yeah, this is basically it. So that's the feature callout angle in here. And I think it is depicted clearly and effectively in this image. And that's it. And now lastly is that we have the translate, which we also have already done earlier. So again, you just need to pick out the visual that you would want, and then just simply select the language that you'd want it to be translated into. So that's translate, we have already discussed, or we have already done earlier. Now next is that we're now gonna go into the video section. So I'm gonna go click here on video, and the first one is we're gonna go into image to video. So in here is that you can now bring your images to life. And now I'm just going to select my image right here. So for example, I am going to go for this one right here. And I'm going to click on continue for that. And then now you can explain your idea. So I'm going to go for make the product float with motion on the center so that there will be some movements, and also add some motion to the text on the header, just like that. And you also have some angles in here that you can use. You can go for animate simple, fade in and out, pop up, melt in, fire burst, or animate without words. So this is the one that I want. So let's see if AI or the Holo AI would actually be able to make this prompt happen. And then once you're done with everything, you can now click here on generate, and it would cost me 5 credits, which is totally fine. You can click on generate, and let's just wait for it to finish. All right, the video is now done, and then you could actually already see the preview in here, which is actually, I think, is pretty good. We now have some motion here with the product. As you can see, it is rotating, and yeah, there's some movement, which I really like. So it's just that the text, I think, is not that good. It is it's not accurate. And then we also have some motion here on the header, as we have indicated. So there it is. So that's it. So that's how you can do the image to video. You just need to add some prompts on what you would like to happen on the video. All right, so now next one is that we have the AI UGC. So you can create a realistic person that is demonstrating the product in here, that is saying the script that you will be providing. So for example, here I said I'm gonna go for a fit athlete. Actually, I'm gonna go for middle age athlete, and then I'm gonna go for the script. So let's say I'm gonna go for hi guys, you should totally buy this water bottle right now. It's a game changer, something like that. It's very simple. And here you could add some image right here if you'd want. You can add some products. I'm gonna add my product, click here and save, so that it would actually be incorporated into the image accurately. And then select video length. In here is that we have the 8 seconds, 12 seconds. So the longer it is, then the more credit spending you will need to pay. And I'm going to go for aspect ratio of this one right here, portrait, 8 seconds, and I'm going to spend 12 credits. I'm going to click here on create. All right, our video is now done. So now we have this result right here. So in this review is that it doesn't have any sound, but you just need to click here on open editor so that you'd have the sound right here enabled. So now let's click on play and let's see the result. Let's expand it first. Here it is.
Hi guys, you should totally buy this water bottle right now. It's a game changer.
So yeah, there it is. I think overall it's pretty good. The voice are on sync, and I really like the details wherein it provided this close-up shot. And then here's the app right here of the water bottle to see the temperature and many more right here. So I really like that that detail. So that's it. So I think I'm just gonna go and download this. So I'm gonna click here and download. And now we're actually already here in the editing page, but you will not be able to make some edits here in the video because Holo doesn't support it at the moment. It doesn't support video editing just yet. So all you can do now is to download it from here. You could share this if you'd want. You can click here and share, enter description and the platform if you have connected your account here in Holo, which we'll be discussing later on. You could also use AI Create if you'd want to use that in making the description. So yeah, this is basically the AI UGC that you could do from your video. Even here in this video, you could also not edit this because it doesn't really support video editing as of now. Next up is that we have the video clone. So you can click here. And from here, you can now upload a video that you would want to clone. For example, I really like this one right here, so I'm just going to click here. And then from here is that once you have now selected that, you can upload your own video right away, even if it's not made here from Holo. You can just simply drag it right here. Once you have selected your video, you can click here and continue. And then here in the configure tab is where you can select the aspect ratio that you want and then the duration. So I'm just going to go for 4 seconds. And from here, is that what would you want to be unique about the product or the result that you will get. So let's say that change the color into change the color into orange right there. So and then yeah, so the lighting color, just so that I can be more specific right there. And then remove the phone. There it is. And from here, I can now click here on clone video, and let's see if it would actually be able to follow the instructions that I have provided. All right, so now here's the result. And now we have a landscape video because that is what we have selected earlier in the settings. And in here, it has changed the lighting into orange right here. But as for this part, it's not really orange. And it has added this lighting effect, which is really not accurate to the product. So that's what I don't like. And then here we have a very similar text in here. We also have the Apple notice right here. And then this one is also very similar. So this is the only thing that has not turned orange, which I don't like. And yeah, that's the only thing, but overall it's great. It's a great clone of the reference video that we have uploaded. Overall, it's still pretty good. So that's it for the clone. So with this video clone feature, you could actually use this as an alternative or a substitute into editing your videos here in Holo. If there's something that you don't like, you just simply need to go into the video clone and make your changes on the prompt, and it would make a very similar video with the settings that you have provided. So it's basically like editing your video, but again, that would be very costly if you will make a lot of prompts or edits. So yeah, it's just an alternative since video editing is not yet supported here in Holo. Next is that we have the scripts video. So in here, we can generate videos from text prompts with AI. So I'm going to click here. And now from here, you can choose the first and last frame in here. You could go for the scene 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna go for scene 1, and I'm gonna go and upload my product in here. So I'm just gonna use that. There it is. And these are optionals right here. So I just want to add the scene 1 right there. That's all. And then explain your idea. And basically on this image is that I add some movements to the water bottle product, remove the phone, and let's see, and yeah, and also add some movement, some lighting effects on the bottom of the bottle right there. And let's see if it would actually be able to perform or execute this instruction here and actually add some lighting right here on this part. And now from here, aspect ratio, I'm going to go for portrait. Video length is 4 and it's going to cost 11 credits. So I'm going to go click here and create, and let's see what it got for us. All right, so now here's the result. So as you can see, we now have some movements here on the water bottle, but I'm not seeing any lighting effects in here. I guess this lighting shadow or lighting cast is the lighting effects that was added here. And also I remember selecting the portrait aspect ratio earlier on the settings, but this one is in landscape, which means it didn't really follow the instructions. So that is a huge deal breaker, because it is very important for the video to follow the aspect ratio or else it will not fit. So yeah, those are the things that I don't really like, but overall the video quality is still great, and yeah, it's looking good, but it's just that it didn't follow the settings that I have set. I don't know why, and yeah, it's just a very bad thing if it didn't follow the aspect ratio. And if you click here and open an editor, you still wouldn't be able to download. I mean, you wouldn't be able to edit it, but you will be able to download it from here by clicking here on download button. Next is that we have B-roll, so you can create smooth transition between two images. So now let's try this out. Let's go for B-roll. We can provide a first frame and last frame. So first frame right here, I'm just gonna select my product right there, and then the last frame is that I'm gonna upload an image right here, and let's see, is that I'm gonna go for this one right here, and let's see if it would actually be able to do this right there, image, and I select the image, click on save, and here it is now imported. So basically what I would want to happen is that the first image seamlessly moves into the placeholder for the product image on the second image, just like that. So I just I just want to see some movement in here transitioning into this one right here. So it's a very simple one right here, and let's see if AI would actually be able to handle it. Right here, moves left to right, so there will now be some directions. Actually, it's better if we don't indicate this and just let AI work with it. And video length, I'm just gonna go for 4 seconds because this should be very short, and click on create once you're satisfied. Alright, so now here is the B-roll, and now let's play it. Here it is. Here's the first frame, and seamlessly blends or moves into the second frame or second image right there on the placeholder for the product image. So there it is. I think it's pretty decent with the transition. You could use this as part of your video for this really cool transition between these images. So that's it for the B-roll feature. Next feature that we have would be the AI lip sync. So you can generate lip sync videos with AI influencers. So when you click on that, you can now choose the influencer or avatar that you want right here. And now, as you hover your cursor on the influencers that you want, for example, James Anderson in here.
Hey, I'm James Anderson, one of the natural AI actors made by Holo.
So as you can see, it automatically plays the voice so that you can see how they move or how they sound like.
Hey, I'm Lucas Tanescu, one of the natural AI actors made by Holo.
Then we have some more right here. So there's still a ton more that you can choose from. We have this one.
Hey, I'm Luca Bernardi, one of the natural AI actors made by Holo.
So I
Use
think I'm
me
just gonna go for this one because there's some accent, which I like. And then we also have this one.
Hey.
Let's see if this one is any good.
I'm Ethan Thompson, one of the natural AI actors made by Holo. Use me to create your video.
create
So
your
I'm
video.
just gonna go for this one. I'm gonna click
Hey,
on that,
I'm-
and as you can see, it is now added right here. So it's ready to generate. All that's left now is the script. So let's say that I'm gonna go for, hi. This is my sample voice for the AI lip sync. And then you can choose the emotion. You can go for different emotions right here. So let's say that, let's see, I'm gonna go for surprised, for example. And that's it. You can now click here on generate lip sync. You can also go for your video right here, and then you can just upload your own video for your avatar that you'd want to use, and the script, the emotion right here, if you don't want to use one of the preset avatars in here. So let me just select it again because it was deleted. So I'm gonna go for hi. This is my sample voice for this AI lip sync. There. And I'm just gonna go for this one right here. Put some dots there for AI. There it is, and surprised emotion, and click on generate. That's it. Alright, the video is now ready, so now let's view it. And here it is, and there's no audio. You'd need to click here and open in editor. And now here we can play it.
Hi, this is my sample voice for this AI lip sync.
So there it is. It is very short, but still that's the script that we have provided. So it is until that duration only, and the voice is very accurate. Now let's see.
Hi, this is my sample voice for this AI lip sync.
And yeah, I think the lip sync is pretty good. It's in match. So overall, I'm very satisfied with the result right here. And yeah, that is basically the AI lip sync here in Holo. Alright, now that we have discussed the image and video features here available on Holo, now let's go for email. So we can create emails that work and that is fast. So in here, we can start with the campaign type to guide you through the creating the perfect email. You can go with the concept method, or you can go for templates in here. So let's say I'm going to go for concept. So now is that here it will now let you generate an email from scratch based on an idea, not a template. So you'd be putting your idea. So here we can choose the length of the email that we would want to get. So let's say I'm going to go for medium. Click on, actually I'm just going to go for short. I'm going to click on continue because I would want it to be sweet and concise. Here, write your instructions like an email for New Year's discount coupon code. The coupon code is New Year 50 off. Something like that. And then you could also go for explore angles if you'd want some template for your prompts. You can go for infographics, discount or offer, announcement, whatever it is. So let's say I'm going to go for discount or offer right here. Share a deal that drives action to an email for New Year's discount, just like that. So we could mix it up like this. And now once you're done is that you also have the mood board here, by the way. You can activate your mood board here that you'd want and click on save and click on generate once you are done, and it will now start generating the email for you. Alright, so now here's the result. As you can see, the email actually looks pretty decent, and it's using the color palette of our business based on the DNA that we have provided. So here we have the sky blue and the black. And here it is, a Hydrate Spark Pro 2 tumbler. And let's see, we now have the secret weapon or the coupon code New Year 50 off, so that you would be able to get 50% off site-wide, expire faster than your resolution to wake up at 5 a.m. So there's this kind of personal touch in here. I really like that. And if you'd want to make some edits, you just simply need to make it here in the prompt. So what would you like to change about this email? So let's say that I would want to add some more features about the product on the email. So I just wanted to add some more text. And you can click here if you would want some AI suggestions right here. And I'm just going to go for this one actually. This one is enough. Click here on send, and let's see if it would actually be able to make that edit. Alright, so now it said that it has now made the changes. So now let's see. And now here, feature drop, and now this is the changes, everything you need to stay hydrated. So it has now added the features to note about our product. So it's really good. I really like how it added these features right here. So you could actually be more specific on what to put in here, like specific features that you'd want to highlight. You could just add it right here. But in my case, I added a vague instruction, like add some more features without some more specific details about the features in here. So it just made its own features for our product. But overall, I think it's really great. And it also has these testimonials in here. So yeah, I really love it so far. So if there are any more changes that you'd want to be made, you can just simply type it out right here and AI will do it for you. Now, if you'd want to do this the manual way, we can simply go here into manual editor. And from here, you would now be able to select the elements individually, and in here you can make direct changes. So we have some different controls in here. We can go for the table properties, delete the table or elements, insert row, and many more right here that you could do. And you could also directly edit the text in here, as you can see. And you could basically edit everything that you would want to edit right here. And now let's try the insert row after right here. And now as you can see, we now have this row, and we could also go here and then we could insert row after, and there's now the row just like that. So yeah, you could make your manual changes this way if you'd want. But in my case, I just want the AI chat because it's much easier. And you also have some controls in here, and your undo, redo button, your fonts, and many more. So that's it. And now once you're satisfied with everything, you can now go proceed into saving this. You can click here on export if you'd want, and then you could export it into a platform, or you could download this if you want also. And I'm just gonna download this as an HTML, and there it is, email. And then yeah, that's it. Once you are done, next is that you also have the templates method. So you can click here, and basically you can choose among these email templates available on Holo. For example, I'm gonna go with this one right here. You can click on that, and then you can click here and continue once you have selected a template. And from here, you can now add the details about your email and what you would want to put in here. You can use a random object, add your own image. You can select the product that you want right here. And then once you have added everything, you can click here and continue, and it will now generate the email for you, just like what we had earlier, but this time with this template design right here that you have selected. Alright, so now we are done with the main features here in Holo. We have discussed every image, video, and email features. Now, next thing is that we're going to go here into chat. So basically in here is very similar to what we did earlier when we were editing the image and the email. So basically you'll be doing the same thing here in the chat. So you click here on plus icon at the top right, and from here you can make the message. So for example, I would want to generate an image. So generate an image for about this product in an gold color, in a gold color scheme. It's that simple. And then I just need to link my product in here, or link image, whatever you'd want. So this time I'm going to go for my product as an example, and you can click here on send. So basically here in the chat is that this is the all-in-one place for you to do whatever you'd want to do. If you just want to chat with AI and let AI do the work for you. And yeah, this is very versatile. And as you can see, it has now generated me the image with my product in a gold color scheme. So here it is. So yeah, you could also make your edits here in the image if you'd want to. Like for example, there's something you didn't like, you can type it out right here, send it, and AI will do it for you. If you'd want to work this way without going into the main features like we did earlier. So this is a very beginner friendly method on creating your content in here. So you could use all of the features here in Holo in just one place. Next is that we have the inspo right here. So this is where you can see some templates. Like for example, this one, you can clone this if you like this template in here. Click on clone. And then you would now be able to select your product in here, and then you could now add your details on what changes you would want to be made in here. So replace the can with my water bottle product. Retain the rest of the image. And there it is. And now I'm going to select my product and click on generate, and let's see what it will have for us. All right, so now here's the result. As you can see, it is a very similar concept to the image that we have selected as our template, or we have cloned. We have the character in here, and then it's holding our product, and we also have our product in here, though I don't know why the cell phone or the phone is in here in the bucket of ice. And as you can see, we still have the sunset in here, which was which is a really good detail that we have on our image. And now from here, we are now once again in the image editor. You can describe what you would want to change, remove, or add here. And yeah, just simply edit your image right here, just like what we did earlier. So that's how you'd be able to use the inspo to clone or replicate the templates in here to get some inspirations to create your own content. And next is that they also have the social features. Like for example, you could schedule your post in here by going into the calendar feature here in the left menu. Now, you would want to connect your channel first. So you can click here on create new week. And from here, select the platforms to include into your content calendar. I don't want to connect my Facebook account. I'm going to click here on start planning. And now it's going to open up this tab to connect my Facebook account. So I'm already logged in, so it should be seamless now in connecting this. So that's what I recommend. But if you are not yet logged in, then you could just simply go and log in into your account in here. So here, I'm just gonna go for this one, for example, and save. And let's see if it will now connect my account. There it is. It has now been connected to social media connector. Got it. And let's see if it will now successfully connect. And right here, connect page. Let's see. There's still some process here that you would want to complete. And as you can see, it is now successful. Now you can click here on prepare topics. And now in here is that topics will be reused across posts automatically. So here we have image post per week. We could go for one. Story per week, we could go for one. You could go for topics in here. So you could add your topics, and you cannot add more than 2 topics right here based on the count right here. But if we go and expand the value of that, we can now add more topic because we now have more value. So yeah, depending on how much content you'd want to post in a week. And now you can click on create 2 posts, and it will now actually create a 2 post after you have clicked this button. As you can see, create 2 posts, and it's now generating. So you just have to wait for it to finish. All right, here's the result. As you can see, it has now generated this content, and it will automatically be posted on this date and at this time. So you can click on those content, and then you could also review the content itself right here. So if you'd want to edit this, you can describe it right here, and it will now make it an edit. So basically the same thing that we did earlier. So in here, you can just do it from here. And then you could also go for visual reference if there are any image reference that you'd want to do. You could also edit the time and the date of the upload schedule right here. You could also delete if needed. And once you're ready, you can click here on schedule. And then it will now be scheduled. And this one right here is not yet scheduled. As you can see, it says review. So you would need to review it and click here on the schedule button first before it would actually be scheduled. So if you're satisfied with it, then you can click here and schedule without editing anymore. And that's basically how you'd be able to do this here in the calendar section. And then you could also plan a new week if you'd want to go for another set of content for a new week. Then you can click here again, and then you can choose the week right here. So that's the calendar. And now, since we have also connected our platform already here into Holo, another thing is that you can go into library and now you could directly post your content in here. For example, is that I would want to go for this one right here. I can click on that and then click here on share. And then now you can schedule this from your library already. You can click schedule to socials. You can type in the description. You could use AI to create a caption for you, and then you can choose the platform where you'd want to upload this. And then the post type, you can go for feed post, story, and then the date and the time right here. And then once you're satisfied with everything, as you can see, the description is now generated by AI. You can now click here on confirm schedule or post now. So I'm just going to go and schedule this right here into 25th at 9 a.m. and confirm schedule. And there it is. It is now scheduled. And basically, you can do the same thing for the other content that you have generated here in Holo. Next is that we have the inbox. So basically, this is where you'd be able to see the messages that was sent or that were on your platform that you have connected here in Holo, so that you don't have to leave Holo anymore, just so that you can respond to messages. You can just do it from here. So schedule a post to start conversation. Replies and messages will show up right here. So this is where you'd be able to respond directly to them. Like messages and the comments, you could do it directly in here. So I couldn't show any practical examples because I don't have any messages or comments yet to the platform that I have connected here, because it's just a sample account. But basically, this is where you could respond or reply to the messages or comments. Next is that we have the analytics. So this is where you'd be able to see the stats of your posts on how well they are doing. And as for this one, I don't have any posts yet. So yeah, as you can see right here, I need to publish my first post so that I could have some stats in here on how well my post is doing on my platforms and so on. So this is where you'd be able to see the stats so that you could monitor on what department or what aspect of the post you would want to improve to make your outputs better. So this is where you can see the stats or analytics. So yeah, this is basically it for this video. If you want to get the best prices possible, make sure to check the link in the description so that you can use that to go here into Holo AI, set up your account, and buy subscription. And that way, you'll get the best price possible, and it's an affiliate link, so you'll be able to support this channel if you use that link. However, no pressure, only if you want to do it. And look out for some coupon codes in there because there might be some that you will be able to use on the checkout page. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.